Broom, an overview. A broom, also known in some forms as a broomstick, is a cleaning tool consisting of usually stiff fibers, often made of materials such as plastic, hair, or corn husks attached to, and roughly parallel to, a cylindrical handle, the broomstick. It is thus a variety of brush with a long handle. It is commonly used in combination with a dustbin. A distinction is made between a hard broom and a soft broom, and a spectrum in between. Soft brooms are used in some cultures chiefly for sweeping walls of cobwebs and spiders, like a feather duster, while hard brooms are for rougher tasks like sweeping dirt off sidewalks or concrete floors, or even smoothing and texturing wet concrete. The majority of brooms are somewhere in between, suitable for sweeping the floors of homes and businesses, soft enough to be flexible and to move even light dust, but stiff enough to achieve a firm sweeping action. Broom is also a symbolic object associated with witchcraft and ceremonial magic. Etymology. The word broom derives from the name of certain thorny shrubs, genista and others used for sweeping. The name of the shrubs began to be used for the household implement in late Middle English and gradually replaced the earlier besom during the early modern English period. The song by Broom Bosoms by William Purvis still refers to the broom besom as one type of besom, a besom made from broom. Flat brooms, made of broom corn, were invented by Shakers in the 19th century with the invention of the broom vise. A smaller wisp broom or brush is sometimes called a duster. Manufacture. In 1797, the quality of brooms changed when Levi Dickinson, a farmer in Hadley, Massachusetts, made a broom for his wife using the tassels of sorghum, a grain he was growing for the seeds. His wife spread good words around town, creating demand for Dickinson's sorghum brooms. The sorghum brooms held up well, but ultimately, like all brooms, fell apart. Dickinson subsequently invented a machine that would make better brooms, and faster than he could. In 1810, the foot-treadle broom machine was invented. This machine played an integral part in the Industrial Revolution. United States. One source mentions that the United States had 303 broom factories by 1839 and that the number peaked at 1,039 in 1919. Most of these were in the eastern United States. During the Great Depression in the earth, the number of factories declined to 320 in 1939. The state of Oklahoma became a major center for broom production because broom corn grew especially well there, with the Oklahoma Broom Corn Company opening a factory in El Reno in 1906. Faced with competition from imported brooms and synthetic bristles, most of the factories closed by the earth. Magic. In the context of witchcraft, broomstick is likely to refer to the broom as a whole, known as a besom. The first known reference to witches flying on broomsticks dates to the 11th Islamic traditionalist theologian Ibn Qudam in his book Al-Magna Pashada. The first reference to witches flying on broomsticks in Europe dates to 1453, confessed by the male witch Gwilym Madelyn. The concept of a flying ointment used by witches appears at about the same time, recorded in 1456. In Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's 1939 film, The Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West used a broomstick to fly over Oz. She also used it to scare out surrender Dorothy above the Emerald City. The wizard commands Dorothy and her 3 traveling companions to bring the Wicked Witch's broomstick to him in order to grant their wishes. Dorothy carries it to the wizard with the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion after the Wicked Witch's death. In Disney's 1940 film Fantasia, Mickey Mouse, playing the Sorcerer's Apprentice, brings a broom to life to do his chore filling a well full of water. The broom overdoes its job, and when chopped into pieces, each splinter becomes a new broom that flood the room until Yensid stops them. This story comes from a poem by Goethe called Der Zauberlehrling, the Sorcerer's Apprentice. The Disney brooms have had recurring cameos in Disney media, mostly portrayed as janitors, albeit not out of control or causing chaos such as in the original appearance. This flight was also in bedknobs and broomsticks as well as hocus pocus. In Eswatini, Swaziland, witches' broomsticks are short bundles of sticks tied together without a handle. Flying brooms play an important role in the fantasy world of Harry Potter, used for transportation as well as for playing the popular airborne game of Quidditch. Flying brooms, along with flying carpets, are the main means of transportation in the world of Poul Anderson's Operation Chaos. The Flying Broom, Turkish, Uyan Süpürge, is a feminist organization in Turkey, deliberately evoking the associations of a flying broom with witches. In wider culture, the Métis people of Canada have a broom dancing tradition. There are broom dancing exhibitions where people show off their broom dancing skills. The lively broom dance involves fast footwork and jumping. Jumping the broom is an African-American wedding tradition that originated in marriages of slaves in the United States in the 19th century. Its revived popularity among African Americans is due to the 1976 novel Roots, the saga of an American family. Jumping the broom was a marriage tradition in pre-Christian Britain and possibly through wider areas of Europe, such as Scandinavia and the Baltic Germanic tribes. Broom grows widely throughout Europe and Africa. During World War II, American submarine crews would tie a broom to their boat's conning tower when returning to port to indicate that they had swept the seas clean of enemy shipping. The tradition has been devalued in recent years by submarine crews who fly a broom simply when returning from their boat shakedown cruise. This tradition may stem from the action of the Dutch Admiral Martin Tromp, who tied a broom to his mainmast after defeating the British Admiral Robert Blake at the Battle of Dungeness in 1652. This has often been interpreted as a message that he would sweep the British from the seas. This story remains unsubstantiated, but may have its origin in the tradition of hoisting a broom as a sign that a ship was for sale, which seems more likely as Tromp had captured two of Blake's ships in the battle. Literature. In 1701, Jonathan Swift wrote a meditation upon the broomstick, a parody of Robert Boyle's occasional reflections upon several subjects about the broomstick. Perhaps you will say, is an emblem of a tree standing on its head, and pray what is man, but a topsy-turvy creature, his animal faculties perpetually mounted on his rational, his head where his heels should be, grovelling on the earth, and yet with all his faults, he sets up to be an universal reformer and corrector of abuses, a remover of grievances, rakes into every slut's corner of nature, bringing hidden corruptions to the light, and raises a mighty dust where there was none before, sharing deeply all the while, in the very same pollutions he pretends to sweep away. His last days are spent in slavery to women, and generally the least deserving, till worn to the stumps, like his brother Basim. He is either kissed out of doors, or made use of to kindle flames, for others to warm themselves by. In J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter novels and film adaptations, broomsticks are a common form of transport for wizards and witches. These are also used for the magical sport of Quidditch, in which players use their broomsticks to fly around a field and shoot goals. Politics. It is used as a symbol of the following political parties: Aam Aadmi Party, India; All Progressives Congress, Nigeria. Religion. In Jainism, monks and nuns have a little broom with them, in order to gently brush aside ants and small animals, to avoid crushing them. This is part of observing the principle of ahimsa. The Shakers are often credited with the invention of the flat broom. Sports. Curling broom. In baseball, when the home team is close to accomplishing a sweep, having won the first 2 games of a 3-game series or first 3 games of a 4-game series, some fans will bring brooms to the ballpark and brandish them as a way of taunting the visiting team. Examples: Arkansas vs. LSU, 2011, Red Sox vs. Yankees, May 2011 and June 2011. In broom ball, broomsticks have their heads removed and are used to push a ball into a goal on an ice surface. The game is similar to hockey, except players do not wear skates. Thank you for watching our video on broom, brought to you by Nekrashevich. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.